as you know, I'm David James, and I'm in the field of learning and development. I started in the field in the late 1990s when I went on a training course, and I couldn't believe that that was a job. There was this guy up front taking us through these models and exercises. I just couldn't believe it. It was the first training course I'd ever been on, and I was completely taken by it. So I made friends with him. I volunteered to get involved where I could, and I really got a thirst for it. There wasn't an opportunity for me there, and this was at Lloyds TSB. It was in their credit card services in the south of England. And so I had to look for another role in another company, and that turned out to be a one-person learning and development team after a very short amount of time with another trainer. So I spent 4 years on my own, developing my skills as a trainer, as a facilitator, as a designer, as eventually the leader of a very small learning and development unit. It was from there that I really wanted to test myself and join a bigger team. So I spent 1 year at Lehman Brothers in the learning and development team of one small part of the learning function, but it really wasn't for me, and I took a risk. There was an opportunity. I got a phone call from a recruitment agent who said, "How do you fancy 3 months at Disney?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a go." So I gave up a full-time role to join Disney on a 3-month contract to help them launch a performance management system. And 8 years later, I was Director of Learning, Talent and Organizational Development. During 2006, at Disney, my boss left, my contract was extended. I was asked to fill in while they looked for a replacement for my boss. The new HR director liked the way I worked, so asked me to stay full-time in the role. I think that was a really good fit. I just knew how to get the right stuff done at Disney. And Disney was brilliant for my career. I worked with some really smart, intelligent people. But I always felt as if I was working with one arm tied behind my back because the learning technology was dreadful. And my experience of learning technology to that point before I joined Disney was dreadful. I just couldn't believe that what we were positioning as the future of learning was so awful. It was so infantile. It was so generic. It was so comparatively useless compared to so much other stuff that I was doing. So I left Disney thinking there has to be a better way of using technology in learning and development. And so my mission after that was, if everybody uses Google and YouTube every single day to find stuff out and to help them to be better professionals and to do more in our lives, then there has to be a way that people will engage more in learning technology. And so my path there took me not so much down the route of how do you make appealing technology. It is how do you apply technology to the actual problems that people will seek to solve themselves. And that is where I am today.